Let's decode those pesky dash lights. Hey folks, Junior World here. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of car dash lights. Ever wonder what those little icons mean and how to fix them? Let's get started. You know, your car's dashboard can light up like a Christmas tree sometimes, and it ain't always a festive occasion, let me tell you. Each one of those little symbols is your car trying to communicate with you, trying to tell you something important. Ignoring them is like ignoring a toothache. It's only going to get worse and cost you a heck of a lot more down the line. So buckle up, because I'm going to show you what the most common ones mean and what you, yes you, can do about them without getting ripped off by some fancy dealership. Now, a lot of people see a light pop on and they immediately panic, thinking their car's about to explode or cost them thousands of dollars. Sometimes that's true, especially if you let things go, but often it's something simple you can check or even fix yourself with a little know-how. And that's what I'm here for, to give you that know-how. We're gonna go through the big ones, the ones that cause the most confusion and the most headaches. I'll tell you what to look for, what to try first, and when it's time to say, okay, this one's for a pro. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to saving money on car repairs. So grab a notepad or just pay close attention, because the information I'm about to share could save you a bundle and keep your trusty steed running smoothly for years to come. We're not just gonna identify these lights, we're gonna understand them. Because when you understand what your car is saying, you're in the driver's seat, literally and figuratively. No more guessing games, no more unnecessary worry. We're gonna tackle these dash lights head on. The Scotty Kilmer way straightforward, no BS, and aimed at keeping your wallet a little thicker. Let's get to it. The dreaded check engine light, friend or foe? Alright, let's kick things off with the king of all confusing lights, the one that makes hearts sink everywhere, the check engine light, or CEL as we call it in the biz. Now this little amber gremlin can mean a whole host of things, from something ridiculously simple to, yeah, something pretty serious. But don't just hit the panic button and assume your engine's about to turn into a boat anchor. The car's computer, the ECU, has detected a fault somewhere in the emissions, engine, or sometimes even the transmission systems. It's a general warning telling you, hey, something's not quite right in here, pal. It could be a misfire, a sensor acting up, or an issue with the catalytic converter. The possibilities are vast, which is why it's so misunderstood. First things first, and I can't stress this enough, check your gas cap. I know, it sounds too easy, right? But you wouldn't believe how many times a loose, cracked, or missing gas cap is the culprit. The fuel system is pressurized, and if that cap isn't sealing properly, it can trigger the cell. So, pull over, make sure it's on tight, listen for those clicks. If it looks damaged, get a new one, they're cheap. Give it a day or two of driving, sometimes the light will go off on its own if that was the issue. If it stays on, well, then we gotta dig a little deeper, but always check that gas cap first. It's the cheapest fix in the book, and you'll feel like a genius if that's all it was. Now if the gas cap trick doesn't work, the next step is to get the diagnostic trouble codes, or DTCs, read. Most auto parts stores will do this for free, hoping you'll buy parts from them, or you can buy your own cheap OBD2 scanner online for like 20-30 bucks. It's a great investment. This scanner will give you a code like P0420 or P0301. Don't just start throwing parts at the car based on the code's description though, that's a rookie mistake. The code tells you what system is having a problem, not necessarily which part has failed. For example, a code for an oxygen sensor doesn't always mean the sensor is bad. It could be a wiring issue or an exhaust leak. Use the code as a starting point for your diagnosis. Don't let it be the end of it. Oil pressure warning. The engine's cry for help. Next up is a light you absolutely, positively cannot ignore. The oil pressure warning light. This one usually looks like an old-timey oil can, sometimes with a drip. If you see this light come on while you're driving, your immediate reaction should be to find a safe place to pull over and shut off the engine. I'm not kidding, folks. Driving with low or no oil pressure is like asking your engine to commit suicide. Oil is the lifeblood of your engine. It lubricates all those fast-moving metal parts. Without proper pressure, those parts grind together, heat up, and can seize up your entire engine faster than you can say expensive repair bill. This isn't a maybe I'll check it later kind of light. This is an emergency. Once you're safely stopped and the engine is off, let it sit for a few minutes to allow the oil to drain back into the pan. Then pop the hood and locate your engine oil dipstick. Pull it out, wipe it clean with a rag or paper towel, reinsert it fully, and then pull it out again to check the oil level. It should be between the min and max or add and full marks. If it's low, you've found at least part of your problem. You'll need to add the correct type of oil for your car. If you don't know what type, check your owner's manual. Don't just pour in any old oil you find lying around. Using the wrong viscosity can cause its own set of problems. Now, if you add oil and the level comes up to where it should be, that's good, but you still need to figure out why it was low. Are you burning oil? Is there a leak? After adding oil, you can try starting the engine. If the light goes out and stays out, you might have dodged a bullet, but keep a very close eye on that oil level for the next few days. If the oil level was fine to begin with, or if the light comes back on even after adding oil, then you've got a more serious issue. It could be a faulty oil pressure sending unit, the sensor itself, a clogged oil pickup screen in the oil pan, or, worst case scenario, a failing oil pump. At this point, unless you're a seasoned mechanic, it's time to get the car towed to a trusted shop. Don't risk driving it. Chapter 3. Battery Alert Light. Is your car about to go dark? Let's talk about that little battery symbol that can pop up on your dash. When the battery alert light illuminates, it's not necessarily telling you your battery is dead, though that could be a consequence. What it's really saying is that there's a problem with your car's charging system. Your car's battery gets things started, but once the engine is running, the alternator takes over, powering all the electronics and, crucially, recharging the battery. If this light is on, it usually means the alternator isn't doing its job properly, or there's a problem with the connection between the alternator, the battery, and the rest of the electrical system. Ignoring this can leave you stranded when your battery eventually runs out of juice. So what can you check yourself? First, with the engine off, take a look at your battery terminals. Are they clean and tight? Corrosion, that fuzzy greenish white stuff, can build up and prevent a good electrical connection. If they're corroded, you can clean them with a wire brush and a mixture of baking soda and water. Make sure to disconnect the negative terminal first, then the positive, and reconnect in reverse order. Positive, then negative. Safety first, wear gloves and eye protection. Also, check the serpentine belt, or fan belt on older cars. This belt is what spins the alternator. If it's loose, cracked, or broken, the alternator won't spin properly or at all and thus won't charge. If the terminals are clean, the connections are tight, and the belt looks okay, the problem likely lies with the alternator itself or the voltage regulator, often built into modern alternators. You can test the alternator's output with a multimeter if you have one and know how to use it. With the engine running, you should see around 13.8 to 14.5 volts across the battery terminals. If it's much lower, like 12 volts or less, your alternator probably isn't charging. Replacing an alternator can be a DIY job for some, but it can also be a bit tricky depending on its location. If you're not comfortable, or if these checks don't solve the issue, it's time to see a professional. Don't just slap a new battery in there without checking the charging system, or you'll just ruin the new battery too. Chapter 4. Brake System Warning. Stop and check this out. Now for a light that demands your immediate and undivided attention. The brake system warning light. This usually shows up as an exclamation point inside a circle, sometimes with brake written underneath. When this light comes on, your car is telling you there's potentially a serious issue with the system that stops you. And let me tell you, brakes are not something you want to gamble with. This light can indicate a few things, from something relatively minor to a critical failure. It could mean your brake fluid is low, there's a problem with the hydraulic system, or on some cars. It might even indicate that your parking brake is still engaged. So don't just ignore it and hope it goes away. The very first thing to check, and it sounds silly but it happens all the time, is your parking brake. Is it fully disengaged? Sometimes it can be slightly on, enough to trigger the light but not enough for you to really feel it dragging. Give that lever or pedal a good check. If the parking brake is definitely off and the light is still on, the next thing to inspect is your brake fluid level. Find the brake fluid reservoir in your engine bay. It's usually a translucent plastic container with min and max lines. If the fluid is below the min line, you need to top it up with the correct type of brake fluid specified in your owner's manual. Low fluid is often a sign of worn brake pads as the caliper pistons extend further, or it could indicate a leak in the system, which is much more serious. If topping up the fluid makes the light go out, you should still get your brakes inspected soon to find out why the fluid was low. Brake fluid doesn't just evaporate like water. If the fluid level is okay, or if the light stays on after topping it up, or if your brake pedal feels spongy, soft, or goes further to the floor than usual, then you have a more significant problem. This could be a failing master cylinder, a leak in a brake line, or issues with the ABS module. At this point, unless you're an experienced brake mechanic, do not drive the car. Get it towed to a reputable mechanic immediately. Your safety, and the safety of others on the road, depends on those brakes working perfectly. Chapter 5. Tire Pressure Light, TPMS. Don't let it drive you flat. Last but not least, let's tackle that often annoying but very important light, the Tire Pressure Monitoring System, or TPMS light. It usually looks like a horseshoe with an exclamation point in the middle, kind of like a flat tire cross-section. This light comes on when one or more of your tires is significantly underinflated. Now some folks find this light a nuisance, especially if it seems to come on for no reason. But it's there for your safety, your fuel economy, and to help your tires last longer. Driving on underinflated tires is dangerous. It affects handling, braking, and can lead to a blowout. Plus, it just wastes gas, and who wants to do that with today's prices? So, when that light pops on, the first thing to do is find a safe place to pull over and visually inspect your tires. Do any of them look obviously low? Even if they don't, you need to check the pressure in all 4 tires and sometimes the spare if it has a sensor, with a reliable tire pressure gauge. Don't trust those cheap pencil gauges, get a good digital or dial gauge. The correct tire pressure for your car is not usually what's written on the tire sidewall. That's the maximum pressure the tire can hold. Look for a sticker on your driver's side door jamb, glove box, or in your owner's manual for the recommended cold tire pressures. Cold means when the car has been sitting for a few hours, or driven less than a mile. Inflate any low tires to the recommended pressure. You can use a portable compressor or the air pump at a gas station. After you've inflated them, the light might go off on its own after driving a short distance as the system recalibrates. If the light stays on even after you've confirmed all tires are properly inflated, or if it's flashing, then there might be an issue with the TPMS system itself. This could be a dead battery in one of the tire pressure sensors. They're inside the tire and have little batteries that last about 5 to 10 years. A faulty sensor or the system might need to be reset by a professional. Don't just ignore a persistent TPMS light, because you might actually have a slow leak you haven't detected, or the system won't be able to warn you when you really do have a problem. Outro, that's a wrap. Keep those wheels turning smoothly, and there you have it folks. Now you know what those dash lights mean and how to fix them. Remember, regular maintenance is key to keeping your car running smoothly. Until next time, this is Junior World. Happy motoring. We've covered some of the most common culprits that can light up your dashboard and cause you a headache. But hopefully, now you're feeling a bit more confident about what to do when they appear. Don't let these little lights intimidate you. Think of them as your car's early warning system, giving you a chance to nip problems in the bud before they turn into wallet-emptying disasters. Being proactive about these warnings, checking the simple stuff first like we talked about, can save you a ton of money and keep you safer on the road. Whether it's a loose gas cap for that pesky check engine light, or just needing some air in your tires, a little bit of knowledge goes a long, long way. And for those times when it's something more serious, now you know when to say, alright, this one's beyond my screwdriver and wrench, time to call in a trusted mechanic. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions or get a second opinion if something doesn't feel right. So keep an eye on that dash, listen to what your car is trying to tell you, and don't skimp on the basic maintenance. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, especially with these complex machines we rely on every day. Drive safe, take care of your ride, and it'll take care of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Rev up your engines and keep 'em purring.